Top tips for any of you new riders out there: start off small. There's plenty of years ahead to build up to get that dream bike. There's no point going and spending an absolute fortune on your dream bike and being incompetent on it and dropping it and causing thousands of pounds worth of damage. You might as well get yourself a little bargain that's a little bit battered, pre-loved. Make your mistakes on that thing. I'm not saying you're going to drop it, but it is kind of a motorcyclist's rite of passage to drop a bike. I've dropped several over the years. Gear. Make sure you've got decent gear. Now, you may see videos of these donuts riding around in the States, giving it all the big and pulling wheelies in flip-flops and shorts. People like that have never come off. People that do not wear proper gear, you can tell, are the people that have never come off, because they'll come off once, they'll take their skin off, and I've seen it happen. They'll literally take their skin off their back at low speed, and they will never ever ever do it again, and they will probably reprimand anyone they ever see riding without proper gear on. Now, you don't have to go out and get your Valentino Rossi replica levers and helmet and gloves and spend an absolute fortune. Just find approved, decent gear that suits you. Everyone's different. Everyone prefers different things. Everyone prefers different lids, wears different size lids. It is a case of try and test. You can never go wrong with a full set of levers, one-piece levers. If you're in doubt, get a two-piece. If you're going to go for jeans, you see with the jeans I've got here now, and people make comments, oh, you're wearing jeans. Yeah, I am wearing jeans. They're Kevlar and they're armoured. Probably some of the most expensive jeans I've ever bought, ever. Proper lid. I know you might want to get one of these stupid Predator looking ones, or I don't know, some fancy thing. I remember being a 17-year-old and buying a roof lid, one of the first in the country, if not the first in the country. Me and a mate of mine always argue about who had the first one in the country. I did. And I remember riding around in shorts and t-shirt. I was a donut, but I come off and I was very lucky, and from that moment on I never thought twice. Proper gloves, double stitched, armoured. The thicker the better, but you need to be able to feel with your fingers. You need to be able to feel what's going on. It's pointless you having gloves on if you can't tap the brake when you need to. Find yourself a little car park. Even, I know you've done it on your test, but you're now on your bike, and if you value your bike and your health, take a couple of hours, or take an hour today and an hour and another next week or something like that. Just get out in a car park and just try not to get in a gravel one, nice smooth, and just ride the bike around slowly, feeling the throttle, tapping the front brake and getting used to it. And when I say tap, I don't mean grab it, I mean just tap it and get used to that bike. Like myself, I've just sat there a minute ago at the traffic lights and just tried those front brakes, tried the rear brake, just to get used to it and get it in my mind, okay, this is what this bike brakes like. This is the bite it's got. It's either ferocious or it's soft, and it's progressive. Get used to it, get used to the throttle, get used to putting your feet down when you need to, get used to how like putting your feet up on the pegs as you're leaving, get used to pulling away, get used to how the indicators are, where your fingers sit. You'll naturally start out of muscle memory, start feeding into the bike and start working your way around the bike, and you'll be much more natural when you go out and have a proper ride. The more you're used to your bike, the less nervous you'll be when you go out on your own or with mates for the first time. But it's still a progression. When you get out with your mates, they're going to encourage you, especially if they've been riding a long time. Take your time. Anyone can go fast in the first 10 minutes of having a fast bike, right? Anyone. It's whether you're still riding 10 years later. Not the first 10 minutes, it's 10 years later. Try and remember that. Try a different variety of bikes. It might be that you like the look of a certain bike, and that's fine. But you go and sit on that bike, or you buy that bike, and the first time you go ride away on it, and your feet get caught when you're trying to change gear, and you're getting muddled up when you're trying to use the clutch, and you can't find the back brake when you need to slow down, so you have to grab at the front because you're panicking and you slide it underneath you. What's the point? You've wrecked that beautiful new bike. Most dealerships are perfectly fine with you taking bikes out, demonstrating. They'd much rather you had that half an hour out there on your own, getting used to the bike, feeling it, and you fall in love with it and keep it for a long time. Then you try it, and a week later you're trying to take it back to them. Nod. You're part of a small community. When you see another rider, you know what they're going through, you know what they've gone through on their test, you know what they go through when it's raining, you know what they go through when they first drop their bike, you know they fall in love with a certain machine and it's their inspiration and it's what they live for the weekend to get out on their bike. They're similar to you. They've got similar thoughts. You're in this together. Nod, say hi. There are a lot of Harley riders out there that won't nod at sports bikes, and I'm sure there's a lot of sport bike riders out there that won't nod at Harleys. General rule of thumb is don't nod at learners, and that's not a criticism, that is an encouragement. I'll nod at you once you've gone out and done your full test, mate. Not only that, nowadays on the learners you don't know if they're just Uber Eats people just done their CBT just to get around and deliver a few burgers, and they've got no real interest in motorcycling. Please like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and make sure you're subscribed on here, of course. Thank you very much, people. See you soon. Ride safe.